If you've spent any time at all trying to pick a new laptop, you know the battle. It's eternal. Mac versus PC.
Oh yeah, it's the rivalry that's defined computing for, what, decades now.
Exactly. And most people argue about specs or price, but today we're skipping all that.
We are.
We're doing a deep dive into the source material you shared with us to get at the fundamental philosophical differences that drive their design.
That's it. Our mission today isn't to pick a winner. It's to understand why they feel so different.
And why switching can be so frustrating.
Exactly. And what the sources show is that almost every little difference stems from one single foundational split.
Yeah.
Are you application-centric or are you document-centric?
Okay, let's unpack that, because that feels like the key that unlocks this whole conversation. I mean, if you, the listener, get thrown off by something that seems simple, it probably comes back to this.
It almost certainly does. Let's start with Windows.
Yeah.
It is fundamentally application-centric. The main relationship you have is with the tool, the application. You want to write something? You open Microsoft Word first. The app is the container for your work.
Right. You open the app, then you open the document inside it.
Precisely. And what happens when you close that last Word document you're working on?
The whole application just shuts down.
It typically quits entirely. The operating system just assumes, okay, no more documents, you must be done with this tool.
So the application is the focus, and macOS just flips that on its head.
Completely reverses it.
Yeah.
macOS is document-centric. The relationship is user to content.
So you double-click the document itself?
Exactly. You click the content, and the OS worries about finding the right app and launching it. But here's the real difference. Even when you close all the windows,
The app stays open.
it often remains running in the background, just waiting. The system sees the app as a persistent resource, not a one-time tool.
And that one small difference has huge ripple effects, right?
Huge. It's exactly why macOS can have things like robust, system-level autosave and document versioning.
Ah, because the app is always there in the background tracking things?
Yes. It's easier for the OS to maintain that state. On Windows, that kind of advanced feature is often left up to each individual developer to build themselves.
That makes so much sense. Okay, so let's talk about how this split actually looks on the screen, the main interface. For Windows, it's got to be the taskbar.
The taskbar is absolutely the command center. It is application-first visibility through and through. It shows every running app, every open window.
You can see everything that's active at a glance.
3 Word docs, 2 browsers. It makes it super easy to jump between different instances of the same tool.
But on a Mac, your eyes are drawn up to the top of the screen, to that global menu bar.
Right, which completely changes depending on which application is active. And then below that, you have the dock.
Which feels different. It's not just for apps.
Not at all. And that reinforces the document-centric idea. The dock is designed to hold applications, sure, but also individual files and folders.
So your content gets the same top-level status as the tools that create it.
Exactly. It's an organizer for your stuff, not just your software.
Okay, let's pivot to window management. This is a huge friction point for switchers. The sources say Windows gives you really explicit control.
It's all about precision. It's designed for arrangement. You have features like Snap Assist, where you can drag a window to an edge or a corner and
Clicks into place.
it tiles it
Right, yeah.
perfectly. And Windows 11 took that even further with Snap Layouts and Snap Groups.
Wait, snap groups. How does that fit the application-centric model?
Because it saves the arrangement of the containers.
I see.
You set up Word next to your email, you save that as a group, and the system remembers that specific arrangement of your tools. The focus is on making the applications as efficient as possible.
So Mac is less about tiling and more about an overview.
Much more. It pushes you towards mission control, which is that bird's eye view of all your windows, or using virtual desktops, which they call spaces.
So it's about switching between whole environments, not neatly arranging things in one.
Right. If you hit the standard green maximize button on a Mac, you either go full screen with one app, or you get a really rigid 50-50 split.
And this is where the irony comes in, which I loved from the research. Mac power users. What do?
They immediately go and install a third-party app like Rectangle or Magnet.
To get Windows-style snapping.
Exactly. It's this perfect clash of design dogma and user needs. Windows knew people wanted to tile their tools. Mac prioritized this. Curated, fluid view.
So users have to bolt on an application-centric tool to a document-centric system.
It's fascinating.
Okay, let's get into file management, because this is where the friction gets really visceral. I'm talking about just creating a new file.
This is the textbook example. In Windows File Explorer, where does file creation start?
In the file system, you've got that big new button in the ribbon. Or you right-click.
Right, and you get a huge menu. New
Right.
folder, new text file, new PowerPoint, whatever.
Yeah.
Apps can even add their own templates right into that system menu.
So you're trained. Go to the folder, right-click, start your project.
Right.
But you try that on a Mac.
And nothing. There is no default right-click new file option.
This is the moment switchers just freeze.
I'm sure they do. And the reason is that document-centric model. It says content creation has to start inside the application.
You open the app first, make the thing, and then you save it to the file system.
The finder's job is just to organize what's already there, not to create it.
It's a total different workflow. Windows says, start the container here. Mac says, start the content, then tell us where it goes.
Perfectly put. And this idea connects directly to how they handle your work session.
How so?
Well, the macOS Finder is basically a single, always running app. It meticulously remembers your workspace.
So after a restart, all your folders just pop back up where you left them.
Exactly where they were. Same size, same position, same view settings. The system assumes your file layout is a persistent thing.
Whereas Windows File Explorer treats each window like a temporary task.
It does. Close it, and the context is gone. Each window is its own separate instance.
I know there's a setting to restore folders, but it's not the default.
It's not. The default assumption is you open Explorer when you need it and close it when you're done. Mac assumes Finder is just always on.
And what about just navigating the folder structure itself?
Big difference there, too. Look at the sidebar in Windows File Explorer. It's an expandable file tree.
You can see the whole hierarchy right there.
The whole thing. You can drill down deep into folders, all within that one sidebar. It's a comprehensive overview.
And the Finder sidebar on macOS is way simpler.
It's a flat list. It's basically a user-curated favorites bar. If you want that tree-like navigation on a Mac, you have to switch to the dedicated columns view in the main window.
Okay, let's pull back from the interface and talk about the hardware and the ecosystems.
Yeah.
Two totally opposed business models.
Diametrically opposed. You have Apple's vertical integration, the famous walled garden.
Right. macOS only runs on Apple's own hardware. They're M-series chips now.
And the benefit there is just massive optimization. They control everything. So they can tune the hardware and software to work perfectly together.
Which gives you that great performance and battery life.
But the cost is, you pay a premium, you have no choice of manufacturer, and you can't upgrade a thing yourself.
And then you have Microsoft's model.
The complete opposite, the horizontal ecosystem. Windows runs on thousands of configurations from hundreds of companies.
The benefit being flexibility and price.
Absolutely. Fierce competition keeps prices down. But the technical cost is complexity. Windows has to work with everything, which can lead to driver problems and, let's say, varying stability.
And that's why Macs can feel so picky about what you plug into them.
It's a direct result of that controlled environment. Macs want that it just works experience, but only for devices they've approved.
Windows has to be more forgiving.
It has to be. You can usually find a way to make anything work, but that flexibility is what opens the door to conflicts and issues.
So let's talk about finding features. It feels like Windows puts everything out in the open and macOS hides it.
That's a great way to put it. It's about discoverability. Windows maximizes it. You have toolbar buttons, ribbons, huge right-click menus.
It's great for beginners, but can feel cluttered.
Right. And macOS goes for that clean interface. It's the low-floor, high-ceiling design.
Explain that.
The low floor is the simple, clean desktop that's easy for a beginner. The high ceiling is all the power hidden away for experts who learn keyboard commands and modifier keys.
It's clean until you signal you know what you're doing.
Exactly. And the best example of this is the Option key.
The magic key.
It really is. It's the universal Show Me More button. Like in Finder, if you hold Option, Paste Item suddenly becomes Move Item here.
Which is basically cut and paste for files, a huge time saver.
A huge one. Or another great one. Hold Option and click the Wi-Fi icon.
And you get, right?
An entire hidden pane of detailed network diagnostics. Channel info, signal strength, network noise. It turns a simple icon into an engineer's toolkit.
That really highlights that hidden depth. Okay, let's talk system stability. What about undo and redo?
Both have the standard Ctrl or Command plus Z in apps, of course. But in the file system, Finder's undo for moving or renaming files is incredibly robust and reliable.
And that's not always the case in Windows File Explorer.
Unfortunately, no. The undo history can get cleared out by just clicking on a different folder. It's not as dependable.
And the big one?
The big one is that Windows File Explorer has no native redo function.
What? Really?
None. If you undo deleting a file and then realize, oh, wait, I did want to delete that, You have to go find it and delete it all over again.
That seems like a massive oversight.
It is, and it goes back to treating each window as a separate forgetful instance.
That connects to the idea of backward compatibility, right?
100%. Microsoft's commitment to it is legendary. They will bend over backwards to make sure software from, like, Windows 95 can still run on Windows 11.
Which is amazing for big companies with old software, but
It adds so much complexity and overhead to the system, and Apple is just ruthless by comparison.
they are not afraid to break things.
Not at all.
Yeah.
PowerPC to Intel, Intel to Apple Silicon.
Hmm.
They will shed that legacy code to embrace new, more efficient architectures, even if it causes some short-term pain for users.
Let's touch on the Settings app really quick because they've both changed.
They have. Windows uses this spacious multi-column layout with big icons. It's very visual, great for discoverability on a big screen.
And macOS just went the other way?
Completely. They adopted a single column list, very much like on an iPhone. It's faster if you know exactly what you're looking for, but a lot of people complain it's bad for just browsing and discovering settings.
And that's a deliberate choice, isn't it? It's not just about looks.
No, it connects back to that walled garden. By making the settings look and feel like iOS, Apple is signaling a future where their operating systems are more and more unified across all their devices.
So bringing this all together, what's the bottom line for someone listening trying to choose?
The core conclusion is neither is better. They're just different philosophies in code. You lean toward macOS if you value stability, if you're in a creative field, and if you're bought into their whole ecosystem.
And you prefer that curated, optimized experience.
Right. And you choose Windows if you value hardware choice, endless customization, gaming, and an interface that puts everything right out in front of you.
It really comes down to your workflow and what matters more to you, application control or content focus.
Exactly. Do you want maximum flexibility, which is Windows, or do you want that curated optimization, which is macOS?
The choice really does reflect your digital personality. So we'll leave you with this final thought. We've talked about how your habits, like instinctively right-clicking to create a new file, are shaped by a design choice made decades ago.
So think about that. What other parts of your digital life, the tiny little clicks and drags you do every day without thinking, are actually just invisible design choices pushing you one way or another? Next time you boot up, ask yourself, how often are you working with the system versus just fighting its decades-old philosophy?